Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Rhea Ripley is all in on the Yeet movement, as WWE has heavily focused on the apparent romance between her and Jey Uso in recent weeks. While speaking on his podcast, Freddie Prinze Jr. noted that Jey Uso's love was pure, unlike Dominik's selfish motives. SummerSlam 2024 was pivotal in the Judgment Day as Dominik turned on Rhea Ripley and kissed Liv Morgan, while Finn Balor betrayed Damian Priest. Ripley has since joined forces with Priest, and the two are now collectively known as the Terror Twins. However, she has seemingly developed a liking towards Jey Uso. The interactions between Jey and Rhea over the past month have been undeniable. Freddie Prinze Jr. recalled predicting the story a while back. The former WWE writer also noted a difference between Jey and Dominik's relationships with Rhea Ripley. Prinze Jr. said Dominik only used Ripley as a stepping ladder before brutally betraying her at SummerSlam. Having been a part of one of the greatest tag teams in modern-day wrestling, it might have been easy for fans to label Jey a tag team specialist and nothing more. However, his work throughout the Bloodline storyline elevated his star power, and as things stand, Main Event Jey is one of WWE's biggest babyfaces. Despite having the crowd on his side and consistently getting the loudest reactions every week, Uso's resume missed a singles championship win, which he should have added on countless occasions in the past. On the most recent episode of Raw, the 39-year-old superstar handed Braun Breaker a shock defeat to win the Intercontinental title and begin his first reign as a singles champion. In the world of professional wrestling, emotions and storylines are often used to craft compelling narratives that blur the line between reality and entertainment. While love stories in wrestling are not new, the way these relationships are portrayed can vary drastically depending on the characters involved. A prime example of this distinction comes in the form of Jey Uso's recent love for Rhea Ripley and Dominik Mysterio's complex past feelings, a contrast that has caught the attention of fans and critics alike. To unpack the differences in these emotions, we can turn to the insights of an ex-WWE writer who offers a unique perspective on the situation. Jey Uso's love for Rhea Ripley, a slow burn evolution. When it comes to Jey Uso's storyline with Rhea Ripley, the emotions displayed are anything but superficial. Jey's feelings for Rhea are deeply tied to his personal and professional journey, making their dynamic one of genuine affection and respect, at least on the surface. As an ex-WWE writer explains, this love stems from a more grounded emotional connection that has been built over time. It is not based on immediate attraction or a rushed narrative, but rather on the complex relationships that Jey has formed within the WWE universe. At first glance, Jey Uso might seem like an unlikely suitor for someone as dominant and powerful as Rhea Ripley. After all, Rhea is an incredibly tough and imposing figure, known for her fierce in-ring ability and no-nonsense attitude. Jey, on the other hand, is part of one of WWE's most celebrated family legacies, the Usos. However, the interplay of these characters goes beyond the surface. Jey's storyline has long been intertwined with his loyalty to Roman Reigns, his family, and his struggle to carve out his own identity. Rhea represents a kind of independence and strength that Jey admires, even if it challenges his own conceptions of loyalty and power. From the ex-WWE writer's perspective, the attraction between Jey and Rhea is rooted in the way they complement each other as wrestlers. Both are capable of dominating in the ring, yet they have distinct personalities and approaches to their careers. Rhea's badass persona contrasts with Jey's more conflicted nature, torn between loyalty to his family and his desire for personal success. This clash of personalities has created a natural tension that has evolved into what can only be described as a slow-burning attraction. It's not love in the traditional sense, but rather a complex bond that has grown over time and been influenced by the dynamics of the larger storyline involving the Bloodline and Judgment Day. The writer notes that in wrestling, love doesn't always mean romantic affection. It can signify mutual respect and admiration for a competitor's abilities. Jey's love for Rhea, therefore, could be interpreted as an acknowledgement of her dominance and a recognition that they both stand as equals in their respective factions. This mutual understanding allows for a deep connection to develop, even if it's not fully explored in a romantic sense. In stark contrast, Dominik Mysterio's past feelings, especially in his early years after turning on his father Rey Mysterio, were driven more by manipulation, personal gain, and confusion. Dominik's character arc has seen him transition from a wide-eyed, loyal son to a member of the Judgment Day, where his feelings have become entangled in a web of psychological manipulation and external influences. Unlike Jey, whose feelings toward Rhea are built on a sense of mutual respect, Dominik's emotions were shaped by his environment, his need for validation, and the influence of those around him. When Dominik initially joined the Judgment Day, his shift was not motivated by love for Rhea Ripley, but rather by his desire to break free from his father's shadow and forge his own path. Dominik's storyline revolved around his internal struggle between loyalty to his family and his quest for power, making him an easy target for manipulation by figures like Rhea and Finn Balor. His feelings toward Rhea were, at least initially, tied to his desire for acceptance and to prove himself as a dominant force in WWE. Rhea Ripley played a significant role in this transformation. In many ways, she acted as a guiding figure for Dominik, not in the sense of romantic love, but in the sense of mentorship. Rhea's tough love approach pushed Dominik to become more confident and aggressive, reshaping his character into someone willing to discard his past and embrace a new, darker persona. His feelings for Rhea, especially in the early stages, can be seen as a mixture of admiration, infatuation, and a need for validation. However, these emotions were complicated by his family ties, especially his strained relationship with his father. Dominik was caught in a psychological tug-of-war. Rhea and the Judgment Day offered him a sense of belonging, but they also manipulated his emotions to keep him under their control. The Ex-WWE writer notes that this dynamic created an unstable foundation for Dominik's feelings. His infatuation with Rhea was not built on genuine affection, but rather a need for emotional guidance and empowerment. The result was a deeply flawed sense of love, one that was intertwined with manipulation and a lack of clarity regarding his own identity. The key difference between Jey Uso's feelings for Rhea Ripley and Dominik Mysterio's past feelings lies in the foundation of these emotions. For Jey, there is a sense of respect that grows over time, and while this may evolve into something more, it is initially grounded in mutual admiration between two fierce competitors. Jey's emotional journey has been shaped by personal struggles within the bloodline, and his connection with Rhea represents a potential shift in his character, one that may or may not be romantic, but is certainly based on respect and recognition. In contrast, Dominik's feelings were more clouded by manipulation and external pressures. His love for Rhea was not based on admiration, but rather a desperate need to break free from his father's influence and establish his own identity. His relationship with Rhea was more transactional, grounded in his desire to become a part of something bigger, even at the cost of his own familial ties. As the Ex-WWE writer concludes, the major difference between these two storylines is that Jey's feelings for Rhea are driven by an internal desire for growth and evolution, while Dominik's past feelings were shaped by manipulation and a lack of clarity. In the end, Jey's potential romance with Rhea stands as a complex yet respectful bond, while Dominik's past emotions for her were tangled in confusion, ambition, and the push and pull of external forces.